LIV Golf's third event kicked off recently at the Trump National Golf Club, located in the New Jersey farm town of Bedminster. Ever since its debut earlier this year, the tournament has been in the news for one reason or another. However, as far as its most recent event is concerned, golf seems to have taken a back seat with a lot more extra stuff happening. What is it? Let's find out more. First off, LIV Golf continues to receive severe backlash. The critics have been taking a jab at the infant LIV Golf Series ever since it was announced in March this year. A majority has maintained that the kingdom has invested more than $2 billion in the event to reinforce its tainted image. As described more precisely by some, it's termed as a measure to sanitize Saudi atrocities against human rights, severe repression of women and gay rights, and the killing of journalist Jamal Khashoggi. A few even alleged it to have ties with the 9/11 attacks, which resulted in a demonstration by politicians and the public alike at the second events of the series. In the same manner, a large protest was also recorded by families of 9/11 survivors and victims' families in front of the public library, just 4 miles away from the Trump National Club. The fact that the former president of the United States of America continues to plaster the presidential seal all over his club in violation of federal law continues to raise some eyebrows. So while the LIV Golf Series is receiving tons of attention from the media and the masses are following it on a daily basis, it's certainly not for the golf being displayed. Moving on, for a mega event, LIV Golf's Bedminster event had hardly any spectators. Amidst the hecklers and all other controversy generated by the events, the craziest thing still seemed to be the underwhelming turnout of spectators. The opening round of the 54-hole, the no-cut tournament kicked off this Friday, with numbers that seemed shocking for the breakaway series. And it's raised another important question. What do the Saudi backers expect as a return on their investments? It appears to be more prominent because of the fact that the LIV Golf Series carried the aim of being a fan-focused alternative to the PGA Tour. The turnout remained so low that the organizers didn't even issue an official attendance figure. Reportedly, there are no more than a couple of thousand fans to witness the event, despite a fully prepped venue. It's also revealed by sources that the $75 ground passes were going off on the secondary market for as low as $2 each. It seems as if despite the huge investment, mouth-watering prize purses, inclusion of household golf names, and 9-figure signings, the series has failed to win itself much space and credibility without a meaningful history and any impact on the world ranking points. To a large number of neutral spectators, it seemed as if most of the spectators' attention was reserved for Donald Trump himself, and not the golf being played on the course. And being true to his nature, he made sure to keep everyone attentive to him. The one-time CEO led a string of golf carts around the venue, joined by Newcastle United's chairman who governs the Saudi Public Investment Fund. When the game still had 9 holes to go, the former president headed toward the clubhouse and watched the rest of the match from a custom-built terrace. Apart from witnessing the play, he even had a number of photo sessions in between with the VIP ticket holders. And now, the awkward heckling moment. Certainly, the event had its fair share of appealing attractions. For example, a 3-man former US Navy SEALs paratrooper unit touched down while carrying a huge American flag. How cool is that? Apart from that, there's some good music from AC/DC. Yet among all of these things, the biggest moment that really stood out was the awkward moment between Phil Mickelson and a heckler. Just as the skillful golfer went on to take his first shot, he's interrupted by a heckler with a rather awkward comment. As he's calculating his shot, someone from the crowd shouted, "Do it for the Saudi royal family." The sudden comment startled the golfer, and the 6-time champion had to take a step back to recompose himself. Having given himself a little time, the star player then proceeded with his first shot and landed the ball into a greenside bunker. By the end of day 1, Patrick Reed and Henrik Stenson came out to be the joint overnight leaders at 7 under through 18 holes. Following behind just by 2 shots was Thailand's Phachara Khongwatmai, who led Dustin Johnson and Carlos Ortiz by 3 shots. By the end of the 54-hole event, the winner came out to be Henrik Stenson, leading the runner-up by 2 shots. Afterward, when Phil was asked about the heckler particular incident, he commented rather casually that he's not disappointed or anything since he enjoyed immense popularity in the area for karting 5 over 75 that left him tied for 46th out of 48. He also stated that he'd had a good day and just felt a bit frustrated because of the higher expectations he had from himself. And now, in other news, Henrik Stenson took a jab back with his comment after a LIV Golf win. The Swede golfer Henrik Stenson came out as the winner of the third LIV Golf event and managed to bag the first prize of about $4 million, as the golfer was stripped of his Ryder Cup captaincy title for defecting to the LIV Golf Series. The star took a jab back during an interview after winning the event. When put forth with a question about the game and his performance, Henrik gave his interviewer a sarcasm-laced joke. He responded that, for one, he certainly played as a captain should. The conversation became borderline awkward when the interviewer jumped in to say that he's not the captain this week. While it's certainly good humor, maybe the interviewer didn't get the joke. Anyway, Henrik then commented that it's a good week for him. When asked about whether the win reinforced his decision to join LIV Series, the veteran golfer responded that it had been a couple of busy days, and he's just proud that he's able to focus well on the game. He also acknowledged in his post-round press conference that the loss of his captaincy also made him double his efforts in the Bedminster event. Moving on, Tiger Woods declined an insane amount of money from LIV Golf Series. Former world number 1 Greg Norman has revealed something which made waves in the golfing community. During an interview on Fox News, the host Tucker Carlson asked the former golfer if the insane amounts of money being rumored on the internet about Tiger Woods' offer by LIV Golf had any truth to them. Norman then confirmed it for us all that Tiger was indeed offered a whopping $700 to $800 million for joining the series. That's huge. The CEO of the series further commented that this offer was already out there before he even became the CEO. He added that Tiger was a needle mover, and so the people calling the shots realized that if he could be signed on, it might seriously help the events. Unfortunately for the LIV Golf officials, Tiger declined the offer. While talking before the July's Open at St. Andrews, Scotland, he commented on the scores of players jumping ship that he didn't agree with them. The 15-time major winner believed that they'd turned their backs on what enabled them to reach a position of popularity. He also added that it's a real possibility that some of these players might not be able to play another major event ever. He couldn't imagine why someone would grind all those days in the dirt just for some money and nothing else. He even mentioned that these events were characterized by blaring music and their atmosphere was completely different. The legend even criticized Norman for the role he played in the Splinter series, saying that he'd done some things that he didn't deem to be in the interest of the sport. Anyway, one thing ought to be said about Tiger: the money didn't make him sway at all. And finally, the Minneapolis community is divided on the Hiawatha Golf Course proposal. The Hiawatha Golf Course, located in Minneapolis, has come out to be a bone of contention between the residents of the community due to its redesigning. Made on a marshland after the 2014 flooding in the area, the Park and Recreation Board started working on the proposal for redesigning the golf course so as to address a number of water-related issues. One of these also included the pollution of Hiawatha Lake next to the golf course. After 5 years of study, the board has finally tabled a proposal to reduce the 18-hole court to a 9-hole to mitigate flooding and the flow of stormwater into the lake. The proposal left the community divided, with one half leaning toward the redesign because of environmental reasons, while the other opposes the reduction of the golf course because it could mean losing championship golf events on the venue in the future. Golfer Darwin Dean also pointed out the historic significance the course had for Black communities living in the Twin Cities. So far, the board has tried many times to progress the redesigning plan, but it keeps getting shelved due to fierce opposition. That's a wrap for this video. What do you think about golf taking a back seat at the LIV Golf's third event? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.